AOL, the company that once flooded your mailbox with more CDs than a record label, has officially announced it is killing its dial-up internet service. Yes, that sound. Apparently, a few thousand people were still using this service, which is a level of patience I can't even comprehend. But to understand why this isn't a tragedy, but more of a mercy killing, we need to tell the story of the most spectacular rise and fall in tech history. It all started in the 80s with a failed video game company that clawed its way out of the grave and rebranded as Quantum Link. Their big idea, pushed by a marketing guy named Steve Case, was to make the internet less scary for people who thought a mouse was just a pest. In 1991, they became America Online, and they unleashed the most relentless marketing campaign in human history. They mailed out hundreds of millions of free trial discs. At its peak, half of all CDs being made on Earth had an AOL logo. It was a plague of junk mail you couldn't escape. And God help us, it worked. AOL's genius was its walled garden. It was the internet with safety bumpers. For millions of people, AOL was the internet. They were on top of the world, and from that height, they decided to jump. January 10th, 2000. With the dot-com bubble inflated to its breaking point, AOL announced it was buying Time Warner, the old media dinosaur that owned CNN, HBO, and Warner Bros. The price? A completely sane and reasonable $164 billion. The official story was synergy. Synergy, the most expensive word in business. In reality, it was like a tech bro who'd only ever eaten Soylent marrying a 100-year-old steakhouse. The cultures didn't just clash, they despised each other. And then reality hit. The dot-com bubble vaporized. All that imaginary ad revenue that justified AOL's insane valuation, gone. Poof. Worse, their entire business model was dying. AOL sold dial-up access. But broadband was here, offering an always-on connection to the real internet, the one outside AOL's garden walls. People realized they were paying for a tour guide in a city they could now explore for free. And in 2002, the bill came due. The company posted a net loss of $99 billion. They lost $99 billion in 1 year. It was a public confession that the merger was a catastrophic failure. The stock collapsed, wiping out over $200 billion in value. The dream was dead. What followed was 2 decades of pure humiliation. AOL was cut loose from Time Warner like a diseased limb. In 2015, Verizon bought what was left for about $4.4 billion, a 97% discount. Then, in 2021, Verizon got tired of it and pawned it off to a private equity firm, where it exists today as a digital ghost. Which brings us back to this week. By finally taking its original, iconic dial-up service out behind the woodshed, AOL has delivered its own death certificate. The screeching modem that once connected a nation has been silenced for good, a final, pathetic confirmation of what we've known all along. The company that taught America you've got mail is now just junk mail itself. And that's the way the world burns. Stay snarky.